Hey, Jonie, it's so good to connect with you again. And we do that fairly regularly in our EQ cafes or masterclasses as you are regular on some of those platforms. But it's really nice to connect with you today. And thank you for agreeing to a Disrupt Yourself video and interview just a little bit more about your own experience. So welcome. Nice to be with you again.
Nice to be
Let's
here.
Thank you. Let's dive straight in. So, remind me, when was it that you completed your Disrupt Yourself journey?
January last year.
January last year. Okay, so we're past the 12-month mark. And how did the Disrupt Yourself journey impact your life?
Yeah, it's hard to find the words in a short amount of time, but Disrupt really changed my life from top to bottom. I do things today that I never would have even dreamt of doing. Just sitting here talking to you today is something that I would never have been able to do. Yeah, I never spoke, I never shared my feelings, I never thought I was worth much. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I got out of Disrupt that have totally changed my life.
Mm. So when you say that it's totally changed your life, would you say that the program is actually transformational, as they say it is?
Definitely. It's a word that I hear people say, and it's like, okay, it's just a word, but yeah, it does actually happen, and I am living proof. Yes.
Good, good. Yeah, for me, transformation means lasting. And I think that's always important to check in. And with you having done the program over a year ago, it's really useful because, if you're not staying in awareness and practicing the work, that transformation doesn't necessarily last. But I know that you did the work and you dived in and you continue to stay aware and to practice. So, what was the original need or reason that brought you to Disrupt?
I think there were a lot of reasons, but the biggest one for me was
I'm going
that
to
I
start
knew
again.
I.
Joan, I'm going to start that again because I had a lull my side. I don't know if it was yours or mine. So I just
Okay.
want to start the question again. So Joanie, what was the original reason for doing Disrupt Yourself?
So there were a few reasons, but the biggest one for me was that I knew I lacked confidence, and I had just had the privilege of getting to know someone a little bit better, who is a friend now today, and she had told me about Disrupt and how you had helped her. And I remember looking at her and talking to her, and I just thought, jeepers, this girl is like comfortable in her own skin. It was just like so clear to me. And I just saw so many things in her that I lacked myself. And yeah, she was so excited talking about Disrupt, and she said, I must look you up. So that I did, and here we are.
Fantastic. So you talk about confidence and obviously how you saw that in somebody else, and obviously when you it's almost like I want some of what she has. So how did the program address this need of yours?
So I just remember from Disrupt, every week was like mind blowing. You shared things that were like, oh my goodness, I don't have to think that way. Oh my goodness, I don't have to feel that way. I'm not the only one that feels these things. It was, yeah, I don't know how to put it into words.
Yeah, I think you're saying a lot already. You're tapping into the thinking, the feeling. You're not saying it, but I'm hearing almost like a pattern interruption. There was something that needed to be interrupted that was causing that for you.
Yeah, I had so many things that I believed that were wrong, and felt just so broken. And I mean, I realized today that I wasn't broken. I don't actually still know what it was, but I just saw things totally different, and that is, yeah, it just changes everything.
Yeah, when we grounded in that worthiness, it does change everything. When we know that we're worthy of love and belonging, and that we we don't really need to do anything for that to happen. It's something that shifts in our thinking about ourselves. So what did you like or love about Disrupt? What was it? I mean, the program is long, it's 42 weeks. You meet 3 hours a week, so it was a serious commitment. But what was it that you really liked and loved?
So there's, I think, three things that I want to mention. The one thing that I loved the most is the one thing that petrified me the most in the beginning, and that was the talking and the sharing. I remember, I don't even know how long it was, but it was a good few sessions that I sat here in this chair and I was sweating, my hands, my elbows, everywhere. I was like petrified to talk and share, and that became my biggest ally, if you want to say, my biggest it's the way that I learned the most, was opening my mouth and opening my ears. Yeah, and just listening to other people's experiences. It's not all about me. That was a big thing. And then the second thing was the way that you do the sessions. It's not me sitting here doing all the work. You like get in the trenches with us and you do the work with us, and you're not just this lecturer. You share your own experiences, and that really helped a lot and made a big impact on me. And also, Disrupt isn't just touchy-feely, airy-fairy feelings, which I hate. It's there's facts, and it's got there's research behind it, and it makes sense. So yeah, those are the three big ones for me.
Love it. Thank you so much. And you've touched so beautifully on vulnerability, which is really what we start to practice in that space. And you did that beautifully. You leant in like nobody I know, especially one that said, I don't really enjoy that vulnerable space. You really made yourself exceptionally vulnerable. So yeah, I'll forever be grateful for the learning. And Jonie, you talk about, the psychology behind it, the neuroscience that just supports it. And I think it's really important that you talk about, it not being airy-fairy, because there's a lot of us that cannot work with stuff that's just up in the air. There's got to be some research and real application to something that's lasting and that makes sense within our own brains. So what was your greatest aha through the program?
There again, there's so many, but there's three words that stuck with me. And these three words are still on my mirror. I still see them every day. And they are, I am brave, I am worthy, and I'm beautiful.
Wow.
And
wow.
Yeah, those were the three biggest things that I think I had to maybe overcome and learn about myself. And yeah, I mean, I never would have believed you if you told me I was those three things 2 years ago. I would have just said, okay, thank you for saying that. You're just saying it, whatever. But now, I mean, I even sing this little song in the shower about being brave and beautiful and worthy. And I mean, it's just like crazy.
I love it. So, Jonie, you talk about being brave, beautiful, and worthy. How have those three things and the belief that shifted at the core of your being changed who you are? How has it changed your world?
Yeah, no, it's just changed how I show up, how I communicate. My relationship with my wife has always been good, but we're just on a different level now. Yeah, I used to keep everything to myself, and it was like this bottle that would just overflow, and I would have days where it got too much and I couldn't really function, I suppose, and I couldn't talk. But now, before it gets to overflowing, I can talk and share things and know that I'm no less than anybody else. So I can actually have a conversation with people now where I was too scared to before. So it's really, it sounds unbelievable that my life has changed like on a daily basis, but it really has.
Yeah, not without some deep work. And you speak so profoundly, about the discomfort of emotions. And it says that, you've strengthened yourself in that area where you're able to still communicate when you're in discomfort and struggle, which is really powerful. So, when you hear about this Disrupt Yourself program, they talk about this toolbox that you get for life. What does that look like? And do these tools even work?
Yeah, so tools are like, I've always heard people say these tools. I'm not really talking about like what the hell's a tool, but I get it now. And there are simple tools like talking and listening that I use on a daily basis. And then there's the tools where I have to take a little bit of time and identify what it is that I'm feeling and unpack things and sit with discomfort and face up to things. So yeah, there's different levels of tools, and I use them all the time. Like, yeah, all the time.
And Jonie, do you have a favorite? Do you have like a go-to that is your like with me all the time tool?
Yeah, my biggest one and one that I love the most is perspective. Looking at things from somebody else's point of view, or from anything really. And the more I think about perspective, I just see it. I see it all over the show, and it's amazing how we know that perspective is there, but we don't always want to believe that it's true or use it. Or yeah, it's just one of my biggest things. I think I irritate people sometimes actually when I say, well, did you think about like what that person's feeling?
Love it. We need perspective for our journey, for sure. There's no doubt about that. And, there's that truth of our perspective being soldered to us. And it's difficult, until we address that perspective for truth or for lies, for it to actually shift. So it's beautiful. I love that. And Jonie, is there anything that you're thinking about regarding Disrupt that I maybe haven't asked you about?
Yeah, I don't think so. There probably is, but there's just so much to it. There's so much that I learned, so much that I want people to learn, share with people. Yeah, we're complicated people, I think, but then we're not so complicated because we're all the same. It's just, yeah, the more I learn, the more I want to learn, the more I see there is to learn. It's a big world out there, and like I feel like I'm in it for the first time. It's
wow.
Very cool.
Sounds like it's gone. The blinkers of you seeing things for what they are. Beautiful. So, Jonie, what would you say to anyone that's curious or wondering whether this journey is actually for them?
I was thinking about this, and I think that emotional intelligence is a foreign word for a lot of people. And I want to say all of us go to school, but that's not really true. But a lot of us have had the privilege of going to school and getting some sort of IQ and emotional intelligence. I really believe is something that we should be learning from school level. I mean, I did so many silly subjects at school, and I really wish I had done this and learned what I learned here from a kid. I've gone like 40 years of my life believing a whole lot of nonsense, and things could have been so much better and so much easier. So I think if someone is thinking about doing it, there's a reason you're thinking about it. So go and do it. It's worth it.
Profound. Thank you very much. And then just in closing, is there a sentence or something that you could describe Disrupt Yourself to the world? How would you describe that? I know I'm putting you on the spot for that one.
Disrupt. It is a way of finding the magic inside of you that you thought you may have lost.
Wow. Wow. That's profound. Sure. Well, I want to just say thank you so much for, trusting your own journey of Disrupt Yourself and not letting go of the work. You have continued, you've done other programs since then, and you continue to stay alive in terms of the emotional space. You come and have fun with us in EQ cafes, which says that the work has piqued so much of an interest and a desire within you, that you keep that work going. So, and I know that you were one of many that have gone through the Disrupt Yourself program. And I will say, as I have to so many people, that you really are an incredible ambassador for the program, because you honestly dived in and you did the work. And I think I'm saying that because the work is not easy, it's challenging. And it's weekly practice, it's weekly reflection. And you showed up week on week, very vulnerably doing the work. And I think you're a result of diving in and taking up the challenge. And I just want to thank you for your bravery and your courage, and that you can continue to share the love as you do, not only with those that are very close to you, but now extending it even into the workplace. So thank you so much, Jonie.
Pleasure. Thank you, Sharon.
Can't find, can't find the living. There we go. Stop.